The village trembled under the weight of the storm. The broken bridge a symbol of despair. The river roared with fury, and the villagers huddled, unsure of how to survive. But in the midst of it all stood an elderly man, his weathered face etched with years of hardship. His hands gripped the wooden staff, his tired eyes locked on the wild river, filled with a mixture of fear and something deeper, something that still flickered inside him, a spark of hope. The storm raged on, but the elder's voice cut through it, trembling but strong. "Is there no one who will cross?" he asked the villagers. His eyes scanned the faces around him, pleading silently for someone to step forward, but no one did. And in that silence, the old man's heart sank. Was there no one left to believe? Then, a small voice broke through the crowd. A young boy, no older than 10, stepped forward. His face was calm, unafraid. "I'll do it," he said, his voice unwavering. The elder turned, his heart beating faster. In this boy's eyes, the old man saw something he hadn't seen in years: faith. The villagers burst into laughter. "He's just a child. He'll never make it," they mocked. The elder's heart sank, but he didn't look away. The boy was still standing, his face calm and resolute. The old man's faith, though fragile, was reigniting. He turned back to the boy, his voice low but firm. "If you believe, then go. I'll be with you in spirit." The boy began his descent toward the bridge. With every step, the elder's heart pounded in his chest. He had no idea what the outcome would be, but he had to believe. He had to trust. The boy's steps were small but steady, as if every one was a promise to the world and to the old man that faith still had power. The boy stepped onto the log bridge, and the world seemed to stop. The wind howled. The river thundered beneath him, but the boy didn't falter. The elder watched, his breath caught in his throat. Was this truly possible? Was faith really enough to carry them across? Midway across, the boy froze. The log creaked beneath him, the wind pushing against him, the river's roar deafening. The elder's heart stopped as the boy stood still, paralyzed by fear. "No, you must move," the old man whispered to himself. He had to believe. And then it happened. The clouds parted and a beam of sunlight broke through, casting a warm glow over the boy. The storm seemed to pause. The wind softened, and the river calmed for a moment. The elder's breath caught as he looked up, his eyes filled with awe. "A miracle," he whispered. "So we're now from lifelong enemies," said the young man bluntly. But then the boy reached the far bank and collapsed in relief. Safe. The old man exhaled, his heart finally slowing. In that moment, he knew that faith had triumphed. The storm had not taken them down, and the boy had proven what belief could do. The villagers cheered from across the river, their faces filled with joy. The old man raised his staff slightly, his chest swelling with quiet pride. He had seen faith at work today, and it had saved them all. As the sun rose over the village, the elderly man stood at the highest point, gazing over the calm river. His heart was full, for he knew that faith had carried them through. And in that moment, he understood. Faith doesn't need to be seen. It needs only to be believed.